Hello everyone, my name is Erica Mojica and my presentation is on issues in the juvenile justice system. There are three key points in my presentation, and that's the three key factors that the juvenile justice system faces today, and that is lack of effective mental health services, the lack of educational programming, and recidivism. Throughout this presentation, I will hit these three key points and identify the issue and give a solution. The purpose of this research is to give juveniles a better opportunity and to help build communities within these communities that these juveniles come from. And usually these juveniles are victims to society or victims to their own environment, and this research is to give them better opportunity and to give them a second chance at bettering their life. According to mercyhome.org, more than 62% of the youth that enters juvenile facilities have suffered from some form of abuse. These juveniles are typically victims of their environment, coming from broken homes or troubled neighborhoods. Once released, they don't stand a chance of adjusting to the same environment they were once victims of. These are some facts that I pointed out that help support my issue. From the source, thecovenanthouse.org, once these juveniles are released, they are released into homes that struggles with domestic violence, substance abuse, or unresolved mental disorders. That is approximately 100,000 youth that exit these facilities and enter back into these homes, or they become homeless once they're released outside of these facilities. Community building is one of my key solutions. Community building, like volunteering after school programs, or building clubs and teams, even small things like raising money for playgrounds. This will help the juveniles in these facilities to flourish in their environment and to stay from these negative things and these illegal instances that happen within these communities. By building these programs, it will help to keep them out of trouble, and it will help to keep them out of these facilities and giving them the tools to flourish once they are in their community. Effective mental health services, as I mentioned before, which is one of the key issues. A lot of these juveniles face mental health issues when they enter the juvenile justice system, and they're typically placed in the general population, which is no help to them. They struggle with things like emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, and they need things like counseling to help them function. And most of the time when they're released out of these facilities, they're either adults and they don't know how to handle these responsibilities because they're still struggling with this mental abuse that they have never resolved through counseling or any form of treatment. So placing these mental health services could help these juveniles. The planning for this, we will have things in place like behavioral health treatment, or as I mentioned before, therapy, or providing appropriate medication, because a lot of these juveniles do have medications that they should be on, and they're not getting the proper treatment that they should be getting. So it's causing them to either come back to these facilities and just repeating the same offense. And a lot of these juveniles are in these facilities for nonviolent offenses. They're typically in there just because they're struggling with a mental health disorder that they're not getting help with. The educational programming in juvenile facilities are not not helpful at all. They're not reading the state mandated educational regulations. They don't hold an appropriate amount of time of educational sections in these facilities. They're typically spending time either in the general population, or they're spending time in segregation. Sometimes, a lot of the time, they're in these facilities where they're in rooms and don't really have company. They're not being provided the tools that they should be provided. And the teachers in these programs, they lack the qualifications that they should have to help these juveniles. Education is important to succeed in today's society. This is documented by the courts, but it's ignored. By encouraging education, it will help. This is a powerful tool. This is probably the most powerful tool within this presentation, which is education and the power of books. Providing these juveniles with skills and giving them a better chance to a better life. Education has always been over and over and over proven to be the key to success and the key to flourishing throughout life. And if we place these programs with appropriate teaching and appropriate education, they will flourish and they will have a chance to support themselves once they are back in the population and are able to handle these adult responsibilities. Recidivism. What is recidivism? According to the U.S. Department of Justice, recidivism is the repetition of juvenile behavior. So these juveniles are basically reoffending and coming back into these facilities that they have already once been in. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, 80% of the youth incarcerated make their way back into these facilities. According to an article written by Annie E. Casey, juveniles typically reoffend or end up back in these systems due to the lack of skills that they have to flourish in society. How do we reduce recidivism? Involvement, giving these juveniles skill building and counseling, the appropriate counseling that they need. To reduce recidivism, we could actually use the things like I had already mentioned, education and effective health programming that will help to reduce recidivism. How can we make a difference? Like I said, involvement is key. We will give these children a light at the end of the tunnel that they once haven't seen before. These facilities will give them the key and give them the key to success to flourish once they are released. And in the result, we'll reduce recidivism by placing these programs into these juvenile detention centers. We're providing juveniles with equal opportunity of education, and we are giving the juvenile system, we're giving these juveniles the tools and the tools and the key to flourish once they are out of these juvenile facilities. In closing, overall, the juvenile justice system has faced a number of downfalls within the program. Within this research can help us to better the youth and help us to better the future of these youth. Once these actions are in place, like adding education and adding mental health facilities, juveniles will stand a chance and an equal opportunity once they are released. Thank you for watching.